that we wanted to show people, the public, the politicians, the UN, the Security Council, how we came up with the conclusions. And so in this report you will find that we have a lot of witness statements, quoted witnesses we had interviewed, and we draw our conclusions from these witness statements. So each and every one would have had a chance, and still has a chance, to say, well, okay, you have these statements, but you're drawing the wrong conclusions. Yeah. So far, no one has come up with that. So these statements are there. They are there to us, showing the background of the assassination. To me personally, usually you start by identifying the people who put the trigger, and then work yourself up. To me, this was the first terrorist case I worked on where you had a pretty clear picture of where the whole thing originated. What we did not achieve in these 8 months, and we said that, otherwise we would have been able to put people on trial, was to identify the people who triggered the explosion, who explored the crime scene, and so on and so forth. But on the background and on the people who, well, sort of orchestrated it or participated in the orchestration of this assassination, I think we got a very clear picture, and we put this down in our report.
You said earlier that you wanted to create a trust atmosphere between the Lebanese towards this commission, but the assassination attempt continued, as we recall, during that period. And there was also many explosions. They were hitting Christian neighborhoods at that period. Why do you think that the formation, the establishment of this commission didn't intimidate the killers?
Well, apparently they felt, and they still feel, very, very safe in what they're doing. So this is a fact. You have to accept that. You have to see what you... Unfortunately, you have to accept it. And you have to find means how to prevent this. So I think it was the second Security Council session where, after the public transportation, the public presentation, I was asked by an ambassador, well, Mr. Melis, we have seen your report, but how can we actually help the Lebanese? What can we do? And I told her, well, ma'am, you'll have to give technical assistance to the Lebanese authority, put a camera on every street corner. Unfortunately, the situation was, and apparently up to now is like this. Here in Berlin, it wouldn't make any sense to put a camera on every every house, but in Beirut it is necessary.
The government was forbidden from putting cameras in Beirut. They considered that it will be a way to spy over the resistance, or to help the Occidental control over Lebanon. So everything is interpreted in a different way, maybe considering the local and the internal point of view in Lebanon.
Yeah, of course, but for me personally, I would rather be spied upon than killed. So to me that wouldn't be a choice.
So before stopping with our first break, to conclude this part, and frankly, at the end, who do you think will win? They will be judged at the end. We will discover who did everything, or we will see something similar to what happened in Lockerbie, a compromise with Libya.
No, I'm deeply convinced, and I'm not saying this out of courtesy or politeness. I'm deeply convinced that that someday this whole case will be brought to the bottom. So one day people will know exactly what happened, because it's impossible to hide the truth, and I really mean it. This is a single criminal case, and it's not one of these terrible cases of which you have in Uganda or Yugoslavia. It's a single criminal terrorist case, and may I add in all modesty that all of my terrorist cases I worked on in Berlin were solved years afterwards, like the attack on the French consulate in '83. People were tried and sentenced in 2000, so it took 17 years. But in the end, I have no doubt that this case, and it is a single case, this case will be solved, absolutely. And
what level of people will be judged, for example? Because we know who is accused in...
I think at every level, each one who is judicially responsible for this assassination. Of course, that's the idea, and I think this will happen. Mm-hmm. So, and I do think so.
We're back together with this interview with Judge Detliv Melis from Berlin, but before we resume this interview and our conversation with Judge Melis, we'll stop with a second report on the investigation course in Premier Hariri's assassination up till the International Tribunal. This report is entitled From Killing to Justice.
أول الحكاية تمديد وتهديد و1559 وقانون انتخاب ودوائر. بعدها الزلزال الكبير في 14 شباط الذي صار أحمر الحب في عيده دما وأشلاء، ووروده 1800 كيلوغرام من المواد الشديدة الانفجار. وكان ما كان، الرئيس رفيق الحريري شهيد حلم بالتغيير. اللبنانيون الذين وحدهم الشعور بالكارثة مشوا خلف النعش يصرخون بصوت واحد: الحقيقة، العدالة، كفى. لم تنجح محاولات دفن الجريمة سريعا ولا إزالة مسرحها والتلاعب به. انتفض اللبنانيون على خوفهم وخرجوا إلى الساحة في 14 أذار، أعلنوها ثورة، رفعوا صورا وأصابع الاتهام وطالبوا العالم بالعدالة.
فليعلموا بالرغم من كل الخطوط الحمر من نهر البارد إلى غير نهر البارد أن إرادة الشعب اللبناني أقوى بكثير.
مجلس الأمن وصف الجريمة بالإرهابية، أرسل بعثة لتقصي الحقائق بقيادة بيتر فيتجرالد، فأصدر في غضون شهر تقريرا خرج باستنتاجات قاطمة عن الواقعين القضائي والأمني، وأوصى بتشكيل لجنة تحقيق دولية. تهاوى الجهاز اللبناني السوري المشترك، واستجابة لرغبة لبنان أصدر مجلس الأمن في 7 نيسان عام 2005 القرار 1595 القاضي بتشكيل لجنة تحقيق دولية مستقلة في قضية اغتيال الرئيس الحريري. وتزامن بداية عمل اللجنة في 26 نيسان مع انتهاء حقبة الوصاية وانسحاب الجيش السوري من لبنان. 3 أعوام من التحقيق الدولي تعاقب عليه 3 محققين، وتوالت فصوله في تقارير إيذانا بقيام المحكمة الخاصة بلبنان. أول المحققين كان الألماني ديتليف ميلس الذي وصل إلى بيروت في 26 أيار 2005 قبل أيام قليلة من اغتيال سمير قصير، وذهب بعيد اغتيال جبران تويني. أسس ميلس لجنة التحقيق وأرسل البنى التحتية لها، وأصدر تقريرين جمع فيهما ما أمكن من البازل. حدد الأسباب والدوافع ودفعة من المشتبه بهم. ومع الإفراج عن تقريره الثاني والأخير انفجرت الحقيقة بالنسبة للبعض والشكوك بالنسبة لبعض آخر.